Hi everybody, it's Beatle Dave calling to you from Derbyshire in the UK. Thank you very much for joining me on my latest little YouTube video. For this one, I thought this video we're going to wrap up the bits and bobs that we got from our recent trip to Liverpool. There's some records, there's some books, and then there's also other bits and pieces. So, it isn't just about records, it is about other things as well, but it is basically all to do with the Beatles. So please stay tuned, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Once again, if you're a new subscriber, just do me a favour after you've watched it. If you liked it, just hit that like button, hit the notifications and the subscription button. That's all that I ask. If you like it, please just let me know, basically. So first off, we got an Abbey Road bin, or waste paper bin as you call them in America. Now I'd actually seen these on eBay and they went for really, really silly money. You're talking like 20 quid basically for one of these. We got this from the Hard Day's Night shop, which is at the top of Matthew Street. So it's just before you get to the Cavern Club. It is actually part of the Hard Day's Night Hotel nowadays. £5. That's all that was £5. My missus bought me that. £5 for a little Beatles waste paper bin. Also, from the Hard Day's Night shop, we bought, I know it sound a bit silly, this a colouring book, Yellow Submarine colouring book. The reason that we got this was because I was actually going to just take some of the pictures out. I was like, basically, butcher it. I was going to take some of the pictures out, frame them, and put them on the wall. But to be honest, I actually think it's that nice that I'm going to keep it. Not going to colour it in or anything. There's actually some really, really nice pictures in it. Blue mats and the blue meanies. I like colour them in. I don't know. Hey Bulldog. That's one that I was going to actually colour in, or my missus, because my missus is very good at art. Let her do it, and then I was going to frame it. But in all honesty, I think it's too good to do that. I think I'm going to keep it as it is, and then just look at it every now and again. Again, wasn't lots of money. I actually think it was something like, I think we paid £3 for it. That's a nowhere, man, isn't it? Jeremy. If you haven't ever seen the Yellow Submarine cartoon film, I would recommend it. It's not just for kids, to be honest. It is highly enjoyable. I mean, it was meant for kids, wasn't it? But I love it. I do. I really love it. So that's actually, like I say, that was £3. Again, I think my missus bought me that. We also had a walk round, and we went to the Jacaranda. But the Jacaranda, the pub, the Jacaranda, they used to have a record shop upstairs. And like past few times we've been, we're thinking it's always closed, but it isn't. The Jacaranda record shop now is further down one of the side streets. And my missus bought me this Jacaranda turntable mat, or record mat, as you want to call it, as we call them. Again, really nice. Like I say, my missus bought me that, and she paid, I think it was £10. There's also a couple of other things we got from that. It's just bits of memorabilia, really. Jacaranda keyring. Jacaranda Records badge. And then a Jacaranda Records pen. I think, if I remember rightly, they were £2 each, or you could get 3 for £5. I think it was 3 for £5 anyway. But that was really nice. That again, my missus bought me them. But then again, I've been looking after, because if you've watched some of my videos, you do know my missus has been on long-term sick. But the good news is she's back at work now. She's only doing phase return to work at the minute, but she's back at work, so everything seems to be going the right way. We also bought a few singles. First one was from Dig Vinyl. which is a Spanish version of, or Spanish copy, should I say, of The Long and Winding Road and For You Blue on the blue Odeon label, which is quite nice. As many of you know, although I am a UK record collector and I'm a massive Beatles fanatic, I do like to collect Beatles things from around the world. That was £2.50. £2.50 for Spanish Beatles record, which I didn't think was too bad. Also at Dig Vinyl, we got Itchy Park by the Small Faces, immediate on the immediate label, but I think this is a slightly later copy. And on the B side is My Way of Giving. Played that the other day. It sounds absolutely amazing. And I think the actual sleeve's worth more than what we paid for the record. We paid £3 for that. This one I was quite surprised to find. The Who, I'm a Boy, on the Reaction label. So I think this is original from 1966, as far as I can make out from, what I can make out and what I've done, a little bit of research I've done on the internet. And on the B side, it's In the City, which was actually written by Keith Moon and John Entwistle. In the City Where the Girls Are So Pretty. Is that where the Guns N' Roses, was it Guns N' Roses got that? I think they nicked that bit, didn't they? So that's The Who. And again, I paid £2.50 for that. Okay, it's not in brilliant condition. It has got a little bit of background noise in it, but £2.50 for an original Who single from 1966, especially on Reaction, because the only other one I've ever seen on these was on Polydor, from like a later reissue. So that's that. And then we've got another one of my favourite bands. You want anything to do with the Beatles? This is from when I was because Beatle Dave used to be punk rock Dave in his early years. Adam and the Ants, Kings of the World Frontier. And I got this because of the B-side, basically, which is Press Darlings. Press Darlings, Press Darlings, Press Darlings, Press Darlings, we depress the Press Darlings. That was £2.50, which I don't think was too bad, because then it got the original cover with it. And then we bought my missus bought me these. I'm not sure if I've already got this somewhere. I think I might have this in the hardback. I'm not sure. Shout, The True Story of the Beatles by Philip Norman. And as you can see, this was from HMV, who have now moved. They are now near the bus station. They're not I think it is still classed as Liverpool 1, but they're not. Not that they were. So these were £4.99 each, or 2 for £6. So she got me that one. Shout, The True Story of the Beatles by Philip Norman. And I'm sure I did have this, or I've got it somewhere. So it's got some nice photos in it. So yeah, that's good. Then she bought me Being John Lennon, A Restless Life, best-selling author of Being Elvis by Ray Connolly. No, I haven't got this one. Again, this was one, it was £4.99 or 2 for £6. So she bought me 2 for £6. There's many photos in it. I haven't read it yet, so I can't really tell you. Yes, from there, Brian Epstein in the Beatles. Yeah, there's some nice photos. Yes, I know books to read, but it's easier for me to show you the photos that are in it than to try and read it to David Bowie and John Lennon there. John Lennon and May Pang. I think that's John Lennon with Harry Nilsson, Alice Cooper and Mickey Dolenz, but I'm not sure who the woman is. And then that is Julian and Sean. Yes, really nice photos in here. And obviously that one there was one of the last photos of John Lennon ever, wasn't it? She also brought me The Beatles Liverpool, The Guide to the Birthplace of the Beatles, bestseller. limited edition, still only £6.99. And I think we bought this from the Beatles story shop. So you don't. It's not actually in the museum. There's actually a shop on the. It's if you're heading down towards the docks at the side. Lovely book. Then had a quick glance through it. I wish really we'd have bought this before we'd been to Liverpool the first time, because although we have been to all the Beatles houses and things like that on the tour, I mean, there's one there. Look at the Empress. Which was featured on the cover of Sentimental Journey. Look, there's John Lennon's Rolls-Royce. Well, I don't think it is John Lennon. I actually just drive around Liverpool, that Rolls-Royce. I think it's, it's a reproduction of John Lennon's Rolls-Royce. Let's put it like that. Strawberry Fields. Because we did do the Magical Mystery Tour many years ago. In fact, we've done it a couple of times. And we have been on the Open Top Tour bus as well, which is good. But when we came on this visit, I actually wanted to go on what they call the Fab Four Tour. And it's like a black taxi that takes you around. So when you get to houses, you can actually go out and you can have your photos took and things like that. And obviously it's just, up to 4 people that can go because it's a taxi. And I think it's around £45. And I thought, well, to be honest, it's been a couple of shit years for me and my missus, as it has been for most people, with COVID and whatever else had been going on. And I thought, that'd just be nice, because that'd be something like that we could do together. The taxi drivers that take you are very, very knowledgeable Beatles fans, and they will take you basically to the houses, and they will take photos of you and your missus, or you and your family, or whatever. But unfortunately, I couldn't find one that'd do it. Well, I think they're still doing, because before we went, a few weeks before we went, I did actually look at, there was something on YouTube about it. So I think that they do still do it. Cavern. So is the Cavern? To me, it is. I think you just go down a different entrance. That is, and the people that run it will actually tell you, yeah, part of the original Cavern was actually that badly damaged that they couldn't do it. So they've turned it slightly. I'm sure that's what they said. It's still worth going. They do charge now to get in the Cavern, unfortunately, because well, I say unfortunately, if you think about it, the Cavern, you've got live music, and I suppose it is a tourist attraction. It is a little bit of a museum as well. It's like a living museum, so they'll charge you £5 each to get in, but you can go in for the whole of the day. You can go from 12 o'clock to whenever you want to come out. The drinks are a bit expensive in there. That's the only downside, and they do sell you the drink in a plastic cup, which you can understand in case trouble starts and things like that. So I can understand it, but I do think that the drinks, saying they're charging to get in, I think that the drinks down there were a little bit on the expensive side. That's not a criticism, it's an observation. And where, from the other places we were going and getting drinks, you were paying probably £3 or £4 more for a pint and a half in Cavern Club than you would do it in most other places. That's all I'm saying. I'm not, I can understand they've got to make money and things like that, and yes, the charge to get in, but there is usually somebody on that stage from when the doors open to when the doors close, and it is good stuff. It's not just all Beatles. I mean, a lot of it is Beatles songs, but they do stuff by the Searchers and Jerry and the Pacemakers and things like that as well. That's nice picture. So the other one that I wanted to try and get was to go and see my mate. I say it's my mate. I was in contact with him on Facebook, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, I'm still liking his things, but he never because he used to dash things and answer my stuff back. And it's actually Pete Best's brother, Vogue Best, his name is, and he's actually doing it at the minute. I know he's a very, very busy man, and he's actually converting the old Casbah Coffee Club, which is one of the first places the Beatles ever played as the Beatles, in the basement, and he's making it into luxury apartments. But you can actually go around and walk around it. Again, that was something that I wanted to do, but I didn't actually get around to doing it. So that's something for next time. But now we've got this book, we can pick and choose, because I know there is Brian Epstein's grave, isn't they? And John Lennon's mother grave, Cilla Black's grave, and things like that. I know it's a bit morbid, but you know that's in fact that's Brian Epstein's grave. Yeah. But you know, it's just one of them things where I wanted to actually go and also do it Sutcliffe's grave as well. Yeah. So that, like I say, that is going to be one for next time. So yeah, actually, this looks like it's a really good read. It does say there where the Magical Mystery Tour bus takes you. It is worth paying on that, and it's not. I think when we did it, you could do it. Say, just get the tour, or you could do it where you got a ticket to go into the cavern at the night when they've got like the bands on it. Because the cavern is like two bits now. You've got the original cavern, then you've got the backstage, where I think Cavern Beatles playing on Saturday night, if I remember rightly. Never seen them. My mate, who I work with, saw them a few weeks ago. His missus took him like for birthday treat, and he reckoned it absolutely brilliant. So again, but you see, usually we go Monday to Friday, so that is, I'd highly recommend this book. And if you like, never been to Liverpool, and you're thinking again, and you're Beatles fan, maybe you should try and get a copy of this before you go. It's called The Beatles Liverpool: The Guide to the Birthplace of the Beatles, and it's by Ron Jones. And like I say, this was £6.99, so I should imagine that there is a website somewhere for it. Although it doesn't say so. Does it say anywhere on there? No, it's even got that. That's quite a nice little booklet. But I think this might be something to do with the Cavern Club. So if you got in touch with the Cavern Club, which I think they're actually called the Cavern Club Tours, they might be able to get you this book. Might be able to. I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I mean, I've just looked at it there. So yeah, we didn't really look at it because we got this on the day we was coming home. Like I say, we have been going to Liverpool for like over 7 years now, and we do try to go at least once a year, maybe twice. And I am planning on going in September, to be honest, if I've got the funds. But yeah, there's some lovely photos in here, a little bit of history to each, thing. Yeah, great. I'd highly recommend that one. The last thing that we've got is this, the Beatles. So what is it? Obviously, it's a book, isn't it? But actually, it's not. Well, it is, but it's not, because open it up. It's actually a writing pad. Again, I don't think I will ever use it. It seems a shame to use it. I mean, it does look like there's been a few pages ripped out of this anyway, to be honest. I think I'm just going to use it as a prop, like what I've done up there, with them little figures and stuff, because we've got them figures as well. Them little resin figures of the Beatles, which I'll show you properly now. Excuse the sight of my backside. We got these. So you've got John Lennon, Paul McCartney, the resin, they're quite heavy, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr. Right? They were reduced from £50 to £20. Again, that is from the Hard Day's Night shop. All right. Now, somebody had put something on one of the Facebook sites saying that these were rare, right? So I goes, well, I got some of them the other day from Liverpool. Oh, they must be bootleg, they must be counterfeit. Okay. Hello, it's John with his voice. Paul's making a cup of tea. Hello, said Thomas. Big kid, aren't I? All right, but apparently his, because when I said, well, I got these for £20, he basically says, that's bullshit. So like says, no, £20, honestly, there's £20. He goes, well, how big are they? He goes, well, about 6.5 inches, because it's slightly smaller than the record, aren't they? Right. So I'd say that's about 6.5 inches, isn't it? Right. And then he like goes, oh wow, yeah, you got a bargain there. He says, but I don't think they're licensed. And I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute, I've got them from the Hard Day's Night shop, which is in Liverpool, which sells nothing but Beatles stuff, and everything in there, as far as I know, is licensed. I mean, these might not be licensed, I don't know. I thought £20, reduced from £50 to £20, I'm quite happy with them. Feel like I've won the Oscars, and I'm not Will Smith, so I'm not going to go and smack anybody. But yeah, so I thought that was a bargain. Then he goes, oh yeah, he says mine is slightly bigger. He says, I think he says his was about 9 inches tall, and he says, you know, they as far as he knew, they did come out in the 6s, which looking at it, I think these are based on there's like a cartoon series in America, weren't they? The Beatles, although the Beatles didn't have anything to do with it, they just like played the records, and then like it was like a song. This would be a Beatles song, which would be the theme for that cartoon, and they make a little story around it. But yeah, he said he got his in the six. He thought he'd got his in the late 60s, and he said he paid something like $300 for his or something. And he says that, you know, they are quite rare. But he says, but looking at yours, he says yours are identical, they're just smaller. So I don't know. But to me, you know, £20. I mean, they don't do anything, they're just figures. You know, it's just something to look at. But like I say, I've made a little display up there, which you might have seen if you watched my video yesterday of a quick tour around my music room, because I did have a little bit of a tidy up because it was starting to look a mess. It is still a mess, to be honest, but it's a organised mess, if that makes sense. And the last thing we got was this Avon Club cup. And cheers, everybody. Thank you very much. Can't remember how much that was. I think that was about £5. So I hope that's been a bit of entertainment and a bit very informative for you. Like I say, if you're planning Liverpool and you are a really big Beatles fan, you might pay to try and get that before you go. I wish I'd got this on the day I got there, and I'm on about the first day I ever got there, 7 or 8 years ago, whatever it is now. I mean, most of the places in here where I've been to, at least now, if I want to think, well, I want to go and look at that, I want to go and look at that, I can reference it in that content, and for the price, you know. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Once again, thank you to everybody that is subscribing to my channel. You know, Beatle Dave, 99% of the time it is the Beatles, but we do features on other artists from time to time, because it is also a record collecting site as well as a Beatles channel. It is a record collecting channel as well, because the majority of the stuff that we show of the Beatles is records, and it was through record collecting that I got into the Beatles. So, you know, well, it wasn't, but that's the easiest way of putting it. Excuse me. So if you are new to the channel and you've liked what you see, please feel free to give me a thumbs up, hit the subscription button, then hit the notifications button, which you should be somewhere down there, I think. Then you'll get notifications when I'm doing new videos. I try to do at least 1 to 2 a week. Sometimes, depending on what shifts I'm on, we don't get any. I mean, I think this is the 4th one I've done so far this week, but you didn't get any last week, did you? And like the t-shirt, look, everybody knows Dave. So you're lucky because you know Beatle Dave. So I don't take myself too seriously. And I'm going to leave it there for today. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Like I say, if you are new and you haven't subscribed, please just think about subscribing. That's all I ask. Then obviously the bigger I make the channel, the more videos I can make. And then, like, if I do go to Liverpool in September, maybe if I go to some of them places in that book, I'll do a video on them as well. So I hope you've enjoyed it. It's Sunday here in Derby, and it is actually quite sunny at the minute. So whatever you do, please stay safe. Remember, you know, there is bargains and stuff to be found out there. I'm not sure if the Hard Day's Night shop has got a website, because if you like these, you know, I don't think they'll be there forever for that price. Hello, Paul. And I'm actually, can you see the resemblance? Because apparently I'm related to Paul McCartney. very, very distant relative, I must say, but I am actually related to Paul McCartney, which is probably where I get my love for music from. I just wish, I mean, don't get me wrong, I can sing. Well, I think I can sing. Not brilliant, not like up to X Factor type, but I can sing, but I can't play musical instruments. I did try once to play the guitar, and I could get a few notes out of it, but then it used to hurt my fingers and things. So that's by the by. Anyway, that's going off the subject. So this is Beatle Dave for Beatle Dave channel saying goodbye from Derbyshire in the UK. See, I can speak properly when I want to. Anyway, cheerio, folks. Have a nice weekend, what's left of it, whatever you're doing. And remember, love and peace.